welcome one and all back to another video. And today I thought we'd take a look at something that I haven't done in a while, and take a look, perfect timing, at Cosmoteer. So it's been quite a while since I've played this game, and as such we're going to be starting all over, so we're going to have a lot of fun. So to begin, we're going to go ahead and go into this, and the first thing I'm going to show you is I'm going to show you the process I'm going to go through for optimizing this game for the best performance possible. As a channel dedicated to only showing free-to-play content and prioritizing development on lower-end hardware and other systems, because a lot of people don't have access to the nice new technology of today, I think that it is important to show you guys how you can optimize this game to be played on lower-end systems, like I'm playing on right here. So let's go ahead and go into the settings. We're going to go primarily into the graphics. This is fine. This is fine. We definitely want VSync turned on. For those of you who don't know what VSync is, VSync basically forces the game to cap whatever frame you're going to be at. So if you're at 30 frames per second and with VSync on, it's going to cap it at 30 frames per second. If you're VSync on, you've capped it at 60 frames per second, you cap it at 60 frames per second. This is really useful in lower-end hardware to achieve a smoother performance, because there might be sections of the game, if you leave it uncapped, where the frame rate might run at like 100 FPS, but then the minute you get into something that's intensive, it drops to like 30. So if you can tell that your average FPS is like 30 FPS, then cap your VSync at 30 FPS and you get a much smoother experience. There's a lot of hate out there that 30 FPS is useless and is not worth playing on, but trust me, especially for lower end hardware, 30 FPS is plenty doable for anything that's not ultra competitive. And even in things that are competitive, if you're not looking at it to win millions of dollars in some sort of gaming competition, you will have more than enough frames to deal with, especially if your target is smooth performance rather than necessarily fast performance. So we're going to have a target FPS at 60 FPS. I think that my computer, even though it's not the bottom of the barrel computer, it's a pretty decent system. I think that 30 would be a little bit better idea, but I like 60. So we'll go ahead and go over 60, eating my own words there. We're going to turn off animate backgrounds, no fancy particles or VFX, no using uncompressed textures. We're going to limit the frame rate, of course, to 60, just to cap it. I don't really like the screen shake. We'll have the background grid, that's always nice. What's going on here? So we're going to load a new game. Now, Bounty Hunter is the single-player game mode for all of this. I'm going to not do that today. We're going to focus on creative mode. I'm going to use a tiny galaxy, just so that if I want to test out FTL capabilities, then we'll do that. And we'll go ahead and start the game. And you see here we are immediately into our interface. You use the WASD keys by default to move around. You can use Q and E to change your orientation. Of course, I try never to touch that just because it bothers me. Oh, I just did that. Instead of pressing new ship. Asteroid is just for building asteroids. There's not much you can do about it. That's just more for Rebel. We go to Terran for new ship. Let's see what we got here. So far nothing new going on here. Oh, there's something new right there, a large reactor. That's good, because there's a lot of big ships that we're working on. Let's also take a look at the build grid, because that's changed in size a lot. It looks a little bit bigger than I remember it being, so I think he has adjusted the size again. I've seen these. Okay. So we're going to go through each of the sectors. These are energy weapons. You have the basic energy weapon called the laser blaster. You can go up to a heavy laser blaster. This is an electro bolter. This is sort of an EMP. It steals energy from the ships and then also produces a little bit of damage as a result. So for ships that have a lot of heavy energy usage, you can use this to cripple a ship's defenses if you use this correctly. You have the ion beam emitter, which is what we're going to be using today to build my iconic ship from my old original Let's Plays Gridlock. We'll probably also be combining it with ion beam prisms, which helps deflect the bolts and energy, which is really nice. You also have a 45-degree angle on that. And then you have point defense, which helps defend against missiles and flak and other things. Moving into projectile weapons, this is the ammo factory. You'll be using this a lot in all of your other projectile weapons. These are the standard cannon. You have a large cannon, which is kind of fun to use, but not as efficient as the standard cannon, depending on how you use it. You have the railgun, which is in 3 parts, the loader, the accelerator, and the launcher. You must use at least, I believe, these 2 in order to have a successful railgun. These to help extend the railgun and give it more performance and damage. This is the flak battery. This is a relatively new weapon. This is meant to just basically, it's an anti-munitions battery that defends against other rounds. And this is storage for your ammunition. Going into missiles and mines, you have a high explosive missile factory. You have an EMP missile factory. You have a nuclear torpedo factory. a mine factory. And you have the launcher, which launches all those missiles and mines and things. Each of these will produce the provided ammunition for this launcher, and you specify in this launcher and in this storage what kind of things you're using. In defenses, we have a shield generator. This protects against shields. We have that flak battery again. Again, it's recategorizes things based on its purpose. You have point defense again. You have the fire extinguisher, something that always never fails to be forgotten to be left on ships to the avail of the ships later on. You have your basic armor plates, your wedge armors, your armor triangles, and your armor wedges in left and right configurations. Moving on to flight, this is the control. You must have at least one of these in the ship. You'd be stupid to not have more than one depending on what size of the ship it is, because once a control room goes down, your ship is totally inoperable. Each of the defenses and other systems have their own sort of prioritization and AI, and will sort of go after the ships as they get closer, but the control room is what maintains and controls all the weapon systems together as a cohesive unit, so it's definitely advisable to have this on your ship. This is an FTL drive. This is what allows you to warp between different galaxies. This is used primarily for bounty hunter mode, but it's still nice to include it nonetheless, just so your ships are compatible. Then you have your different thruster ways: small thruster, two-way small thruster, three-way small thruster, standard thruster, large thruster, huge thruster, and the boost thruster, which gives you a increased boost range if you enable it, but at the cost of a lot of energy, and an engine room, which boosts the capabilities of all engines that are touching it. Moving on to crew, you have your standard bunks, quarters, and moving walkways, which can be used to better efficiently maintain and control where your crew or AI are pathfinding to, and now with this new quality of life improvement that tells us where they're going to, which is always going to be nice, we'll be able to use that. Moving on into power, you have the small reactor, the medium reactor, the large reactor, and reactor storage. Each of these yellow cubes is a reactor power. All of the different weapons and other systems in this game require different amounts and will use them up at varying speeds, so you have to manage your power. Make sure that all of your crew members will be able to adequately access this power and transfer all of the materials. And in miscellaneous, you have things like a tractor beam, which pulls ships towards it. You have sensor array, which allows you to see things from farther away. Again, more of a bounty hunter mode, but absolutely useful in multiplayer. Explosive charges, which allow you to separate sections of your ship, which is really great for bringing in fleets of ships. And your basic structure blocks, which are very lightweight blocks used to add structure and rigidity to the ship without adding too much cost. They don't really add much protection, but they are great mass building materials. You have structure wedges, structure wedge 1x2s, structure wedge 1x2s, again left and right variants. Another thing that's interesting about these structure blocks is that crew members can actually walk on these blocks, albeit very slowly. So, moving on, we also have corridors and doors. This is your main ship block here. This is where all of your people will be moving through. So what we're going to go ahead and do here is we're going to set up gridlock. We're going to have a series of these ion beams which shoot large lines of laser blasts in a single direction. They cannot be aimed. If you do it this way, and we create a crisscross pattern, that's why this is called gridlock. It creates a large gaping mouth that allows it to essentially eat and destroy anything that it touches in this area. It's a very interesting and challenging build to create and manage effectively that is still secure and stable, which is why it's fun to build, but it's very useful for devouring ships.
We love falling deeper, drown ourselves in all that goes on. You say fear the reaper, I say bring him on. You probably follow, I'm on the new wave. You're looking hollow, I found a new way. Show me how you do, tell me how you feel. Cause you say you're living fine all the time, but I know what's real, and it's all the same. Tell me how you deal, cause you've been waiting on the next thing I would say. I'm on a new wave, I'm on a new wave, I'm on a new wave, I'm on a new wave. They can't help but notice, say my name till they wear it out. Envy is the focus, there's no reason to doubt. You probably follow, I'm on the new wave. You're looking hollow, I found a new way. Show me how you do, tell me how you feel. 'Cause you say you're living fine all the time, but I know what's real, and it's all the same. Tell me how you deal, 'cause you've been waiting on the next thing I would say. I'm on a new wave. 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 Tell me all your problems. No, I simply can't relate. And if you call me on my cell phone, no, I give it to you straight. I'm on a new wave. Yeah, yeah. I'm on a new. Yo, oh, oh, oh. I'm on a new wave. 'Cause you say you're living fine all the time, but I know what's real. I'm on a new wave. 'Cause you've been waiting on the next thing I would say. I'm on a new wave. I'm a lot like you. Pictures in my room. People I once knew. And hearts I can't untangle from my own. I go in my head, hanging by a thread, drifting through her hair. One day you will find that it's time to get your hopes up. They try to kick me, but I won't budge. Ooh. But there's nowhere left to hide long. A masquerade with the lights on. Ooh. It's a feeling that I can't explain. Don't look down, everything will be fine for you now. Don't look down, everything will be fine for you now. Don't look down, everything will be fine for you now. Don't look down, everything will be fine for you now. Just a dream. Ooh, it's a feeling I just can't contain. Don't look down, everything will be fine for you now. Don't look down, everything will be fine for you now. Don't look down, everything will be fine for you now. Don't look down, everything will be fine for you now. have a bit of fun till I downfall. My love, if you feel like I do right now, don't say you're on the run to the other side, my love. You say you wanna try, but you never do. Sugar, there's a reason why we lose. You say you wanna cry, but you never do. Sugar, there's a reason why we lose. I don't know what you want. Let's have a bit
Alright,
of
so now that we
fun
have done this,
till
we're going to go ahead and battle it against something that really
my
needs to be
love, if you
just
feel like I do right.
this. We're going to go ahead and give both ships the benefit of the doubt, be able to load up, and you can see that that happened pretty scarily fast. So with this, we're going to go ahead and, again, Control A. We're going to turn AI to normal, and we're going to turn Allegiance to Barbarian, and we're going to watch this unfold.
I don't know what you want. Let's have a bit of fun till I downfall. My love, if you feel like I do right now, don't say you're on the run to the other side, my love.
Which, as you can see, was accidentally activated which might actually be a huge problem for REUPLOAD, because this is going to turn it into two ships, which normally is not supposed to happen normally. But the problem is we're in Barbarian mode, so these two are going to be attacking each other. So we're going to go ahead and switch allegiances here. So Allegiance is going to be switched to player 2. Under normal circumstances, that's not what would end up happening. Allegiance, player 1.
Let's have a bit of fun till I downfall. My love, if you feel like I do right now, don't say you're on the run to the other side, my love. You say you wanna try, but you never do. Sugar, there's a reason why we lose. You say you wanna try, but you never do. Sugar, there's a reason why we lose. You say you wanna cry, but you never do. Sugar, there's a reason why we lose.
Is I'm going to take one of the few designs that I've built, and we're going to use that glass cannon, that is the blunderbuss, to utterly obliterate it, and then we're going to piece it back together into an interesting ship, and basically take the wreckage and build it into something interesting. This is going to be a barbarian, and normal, and this is not going to have any AI on it whatsoever. To top it all off, we're also going to make this invulnerable, which is a new fun feature. Alright, controls are back. Now I'm back to Alright, so we've just done all that work, and we ended up with literally just two sections that we can use here to construct some kind of vessel of some kind. It has some sort of valuable parts attached to it, which I think is pretty good and pretty interesting to look at. So we're going to go ahead and take a look at each of these small chunks and see what we can do with it. That was the last thing I think of this video.